We're joined now by Eric Stach, 2025 MRS President, and Dawnielle Farrar-Gaines, MRS Secretary, to discuss some exciting changes to MRS governance and elections. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for having us.
So, Eric, I understand that MRS has been evaluating its governance. Can you tell me more about the board's motivation and some key changes that have occurred?
Our motivation has been to try to better align the activities of the headquarters staff with volunteer interests and volunteer capabilities. We started this in around 2018 or so, and the goal was really to make sure that we develop structures, including things like a program assessment methodology that allow us to understand how programs work, how they best function, and then also to streamline governance so that it's well aligned with the kind of goals of the organization overall.
And I understand that the board has recently approved the move towards slate-based elections. So, Dawnielle, can you tell us more about how the board approached that decision?
Conducting slate-based elections was identified as a leading practice for nonprofit organizations quite a few years back, but MRS did not embrace the practice until recently, opting to continue with the traditional competitive election involving multiple candidates for each board director and officer position. Independently, we conducted a diversity, equity, and inclusion audit of our MRS governance, and a key recommendation from the audit was to transition toward slate-based elections. Consequently, the MRS Governance Committee was charged by the board to lead a multi-year investigation into best practices for nonprofit professional society elections and then make recommendations to the board.
Okay, so Eric, what do you want MRS members to know about that decision?
Yeah, so this represents a major change in how we govern the society. We've done things in the same way for many years, so people will ask questions, why are we doing this? As Dawnielle said, we worked through a process and kind of came to the recognition that this is the way that the highest performing boards operate in our space. So the goals for this are to make sure that we have a set of competencies on the board that are aligned with the needs of the organization, to make sure that we have a diversity of thought and diversity of interests and practices. Also making sure that we have people from representation, academia, industry, government, national laboratories, abroad, the US, so that we have kind of a wide range of people who bring ideas to the table. And really what we want to make sure is that people recognize that this is being done in order to provide people opportunities to join the board. We're doing this in a competency-based way so that they can say, here's what I know how to do, here's the experiences I've had, here's how I might contribute to the organization.
Dawnielle, how does this move better engage MRS members and volunteers?
Yeah, so improved member engagement is actually reported as a key outcome from the other professional societies who have made this transition. In addition to transparency regarding requirements on how to serve on the MRS Board of Directors, like Eric mentioned, we are also replacing our nominating committee with a new talent development committee. This committee will not only recommend a slate of candidates for each annual election, but it will also help us engage members across generations. The goal is to better connect our members and volunteers with opportunities to serve within MRS so that they are prepared for future board roles. Continued engagement of MRS fellows and past MRS board members is also a key focus so that we can retain the talent that we have within the society. MRS members will be encouraged to apply to serve on the Talent Development Committee to help shape the future of MRS.
It sounds like y'all put some great thought into this and have some good reasons for making this change. What are the next steps?
Yeah, the next steps, well, this is actually the first one, right? So we're making sure that our members know that this is something that we're doing. We plan to continue to find ways to describe this to them at MRS meetings, through the MRS bulletin, through other ways that we reach out to our membership. We're also going to be showing people how to become part of this talent development effort, and we're going to kind of continue to work on making sure people know how to be part of us. And then over the next period, we're going to do elections in kind of a hybrid way to transition into it, where some of the posts will still be election-based and some will be slate-based, moving to a full slate-based methodology in the near future.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for your leadership with MRS.
Thank you.
Thank you.